Jai Hind, this is Anju Sharma from SVM Malerkotla. Today my topic is separation of substances. So in our daily life there are many instances when we notice a substance being separated from a mixture of materials. So what is separation? Separation means removal of substances from the mixture. A mixture is having two or more components, so we separate the useful component or the undesirable component from that. For example, tea leaves are separated from liquid with the strainer while preparing tea. For example, like we can separate the tea leaves after we can prepare the tea, because when the tea is prepared, now tea leaves are of no use, so we can separate the tea leaves. So now the question arises, why do we separate substances? To obtain two different but useful components. Like we can separate cream or butter from the milk. Here cream and butter are also useful and milk is also useful component. So we need to separate them. To remove non-useful components, to remove impurities or harmful components. Like we can remove stones from the pulses. To group substances of different sizes, we can separate the substances when they are of different sizes. We can separate them with the help of the sieve. So there are different methods of separation which we can use in our daily life. So first method is hand picking. Hand picking is used for separating large sized impurities like stones and husks from rice, wheat or pulses. Hand picking, in hand picking we mainly use of the hands. So by hands we can just separate those substances which are of large size. So we can easily separate stones and husk from the mixture of rice, wheat or pulses. And second method is threshing. Threshing is a method which is used to separate grains from the stalks. And earlier times we can separate the grains from the stalks of the plants by beating it against a hard surface. But nowadays machines are used for this process. And next method is winnowing. By the name it is mentioned, winnowing. In winnowing we make use of wind. It is used to separate heavier and lighter components by wind or by blowing air. For example, separation of lighter husk particles from heavier seed grains. In winnowing we make use of wind. By the wind the lighter particles blow off and the heavier particles fall at that place. So we can separate easy by that method as mentioned in the picture. And the next method is sieving, where we can make use of the sieve. It is used when the components of a mixture have different sizes. Examples, pebbles and stones are removed from sand. Here we can use sieve. Sieve is having the holes, and on the holes the fine particles can pass through the holes, and the impurity, that is the particle which is having the large size, that remain on the sieve. So another method of separation is sedimentation. When the heavier component in a mixture settles after water is added to it, the process is called sedimentation. So here I can show you that the heavier component, there the sand is there. We can take the mixture of sand and water. Sand is the heavier component and it settles down at the bottom of the beaker, and clear water forms the upper layer, and this process is called sedimentation, settling down of heavier components in a mixture. And after the next process is decantation. When the water is removed avoiding the sediment, the process is called decantation. When we pour down the upper layer of water into the another beaker, this process is called decantation. Like this is the upper layer of water, we can remove them into the another beaker without disturbing the sediments. And here sediment is the sand, so that process is decantation. Okay students, I hope you understand what is separation and what are different methods of separation. Thank you.